This is a design technique called a Z layout. And what this does is effectively mirrors what we just talked through. So the natural gaze of a person who sees, in this case, we're looking at, just obviously the very common web example works the exact same if we're looking at a print modality. But if we're seeing a logo, okay, I know where I am. This is something that is a brand I'm associated with. Then we're immediately asking for action. Then we're following by going lower left to that context, that helpful text, that value add, and then again, a call to action. So if I naturally assume that as a reader of any content, I'm actually sort of blowing by everything that's right in the heart of or in the middle of what I'm looking at, be that a web portal, a web page, or a piece of printed collateral. And so optimizing the corners of this page are how I want to design for engagement and action. And those corners sort of lay out in a cadence that we need to establish that trust. We need to recognize with the member that there is an action to be taken. We need to contextualize that action, and then we're going to ask again. So obviously, this is something I mean, like once you see this, you can't unsee it, especially when you look at web. You'll start to see that this is a format that's really common, and you've sort of dissected it here to recognize what it is the design is trying to achieve. But it's no different if we start to look at our correspondence. And so, fortunately, a lot of just the general layout of correspondence is going to be conducive to this. But when we start thinking through the back end of the taxonomy, it helps us to be smarter about what we're placing where and why. So if I'm, again, using that top left opportunity where I know that the member's eye is going to naturally gaze first, we've got that logo that is yours and that is bedrock and that is the establishment of trust. From there, as we gaze across to the right, and as a user's eye naturally will, we're directed towards that top right feature, which we call a Johnson box, which is oftentimes where we're doing our primary call to sign up. And so I now immediately have that call to action text associated with that real estate in my natural gaze that's saying, hey, you're involved in this, get involved, sign up, register, log back in, whatever that call to action might be. And then we're dropping down to, okay, what's the context around this? Here we've got a bulleted list and an unfulfilled checklist that's sort of contextualizing you've done 1 and 2. But number 3 is of great value to you, and we're asking you then again over at number 4 to re-request that action or to re-request the sign in.